Hello everyone, myself Dr. Ritu Shekhar, Associate Professor from Department of Education, Rabindranath Tagore University. In this video, I am going to introduce Maxims of teaching. Maxims are simple guidelines or principles which help the teachers to take decisions and act accordingly during the teaching process. But before discussing the topic, the trainee teacher should know what is teaching. In teacher education programs and in continuing professional development, a lot of time is devoted to the what of teaching, what areas we should cover, what resources we need, and so on. The how of teaching also gets a great deal of space, how to structure a lesson, manage classes, assess for learning, and so on, right? As a teacher educator, my point of view is that 21st century teacher should be aware of their students' needs for future career development. I mean, teachers have to be able to develop and enhance students' competencies that will allow them to cope with their future professional duties. To be good at teaching, there are certain formula with good ingredients. For example, teachers need to master content knowledge, that is professional competency, and pedagogy, how to teach, what method we use, what kind of approach we adopt, and what kind of learning tools and design we require. Teachers need to mark and evaluate their growth and students' results. As we know, the aim of teaching is not only to transmit information but also to transform students from passive recipients of other people's knowledge into active constructors of their own and others' knowledge. That is to say, that teaching is fundamentally about creating the pedagogical, social, and ethical conditions under which students agree to take charge of their own learning individually and collectively. Here are some important definitions which develop the idea about teaching further. Let's have a look. According to Edmund Amidon, teaching is defined as an interactive process primarily involving classroom talks which take place between teacher and pupil and occurs during certain definable activity. Next definition by Clark is that teaching process is designed and performed to produce change in a student's behavior. And lastly, according to Ryan, teaching is concerned with activities which are concerned with the guidance or direction of learning of others. It implies that teaching can be defined as an engagement with learners to enable their understanding and application of knowledge, concept, and processes. It includes design, content selection, delivery, assessment, and reflection. To teach is to engage students in learning. Thus, teaching consists of getting students involved in active construction of knowledge. That means students who are able to regulate their own learning can modify and monitor their behavior using metacognition, motivation, self-awareness, self-efficiency to reach a desired learning outcomes, which is basically focused on what a learner will know or be able to do after a defined period of time and indicate that how that knowledge and skills will be demonstrated. If a teacher obtained the desired learning outcomes, only then he or she is considered to be successful. In short, teaching is the process of attending the learner's needs, experiences, and feeling and intervening so that they learn particular things and go beyond the given. As we know, interventions commonly takes the form of questioning, listening, given information, explaining some phenomenon, demonstrating a skill or process, testing, understanding and capacity, and facilitating learning activities such as note taking, discussion, assignment writing, simulations, and practice. I hope now that we have a fairly good idea about teaching, so we can move on the next important aspect, that is maximum of teaching. In teaching work, the teacher has to face a lot of practical difficulties. For example, which content should be studied first, which letter, how to connect the content with the experiences of daily life, how to give knowledge of abstract facts, how to establish the relationship between the subjects, how to make teaching interesting and simple. In order to find a solution to these questions, the content sequence has to be determined in such a way that students can imbibe the content properly. Maxims are determined to deal with all such difficulties and to ensure the success of teaching work. Every teacher wants to make maximum involvement and participation of the learners in learning process. The teacher sets the classroom in such a way that it becomes appealing to the students. They use different methods, rules, principles, etc. in order to make lesson easy, effective and purposeful. That means these subtle principles, tenets, working rules, or general truths through which teaching becomes interesting, easy, and effective are called the maxims of teaching. According to definition given by Richard, teachers' maxims appear to reflect culture factors, belief systems, experience, training, and understanding of which maxims teachers give priority and how they influence teachers' practices in important goal in teacher development. In short, the task of teaching is performed using certain simple notions and working ways, which is known as maxims. It makes learning systematic, easy, interesting, and effective. Every person who is expected to enter into the teaching profession has to familiarize himself with the maxims of teaching. Their knowledge help him proceed systematically. The teacher should always proceed keeping them in view. In the next video, I will take up some popular maxims of teaching and their application in the classroom situation. So be connected and keep watching. Thank you.